think this question is for Pastor Odom. If I remember correctly, just knowing a little bit about you, you said that you were an entrepreneur, and I decided that this is something that I wanted to do. And I started about 2 years doing it, but every time I start, I hesitate, and then I start again, and then I stop. And I've been getting encouragement from people that are doing it because they've been very successful. What would you say to someone who wants to do it, but they're a little afraid because of...
Just gotta jump.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. Yeah, I've heard it all. You've got to take the leap, you've got to do it. What kind of encouragement we could give to someone, especially somebody that's in the church, because you know you have responsibilities that you have to fulfill. So what can you say to encourage someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, who started but have also stopped but wants to do it again?
I get my question would be, why are you stopping?
Being afraid.
Because you're afraid.
Being afraid, yes.
So that's the only reason why you're stopping?
Yes, being afraid. Not being able to meet my responsibilities.
So what has worked for me in business, I am, hence my shirt, Take the Leap. I am a person that take leaps. I take chances. Since I have come into the knowledge of who God was, my faith has always been as such.
Yeah.
In order for you to do business or take or walk away from something that is into something that you're not sure you're going to get a return on,
Right.
or it's going to upset everything else you're trying, you got to have faith. And you have to, and what I do, because sometimes I'm not going to say I don't get afraid, even now doing certain things. Honestly, I pray about that fear, and I ask the Lord to arrest it, and I do it afraid.
Okay.
You know? So that moment, you know, because it's real for you. Your fear is real for you. And I have this thing where, you know, with me and flying, so, you know, everybody, you know, but the fear is real for me. So what you have to do is because you specifically said believer, you have to take that fear, give it to God, and do it anyway. You have to believe. Do it anyway. You have to, because it's different. I don't have to fly, right? So it's not as that, we can make that as not as a big deal as your livelihood.
Right.
So that's the difference. Like, I don't have to fly, I can take a train, I can drive, right? Some places. But some places. But someone that is trying to build life, and you got to take away from your means to establish something that's not sure.
Correct.
You have to have faith. Take the risk, because if you don't take it, you're going to always wonder, should I, could I?
Right.
We can't just trust God with the things that we can handle. You have to trust Him with all of it, because then what is faith for? Right?
Yes. Thank you.
First and foremost, I thank God that I came here. This was my church home for 16 and a half years. And y'all still my family, even though I have relocated. I thank God for each and everything that y'all said. You, my sister, you gave me strength because I was also a survivor. And 2 years ago, my kidney shut down. God is so good to me. Even when I don't deserve it. He's such a keeper. First Lady Odom, I always love you. I love your gracefulness. Watching you and First Lady, y'all taught me how to become a lady. First Lady, you always been rough with me. And I'm grateful.
She spanked you. She spanked you.
She has. Even when I'm not in your presence, I remember what I have learned from you. I'm dealing with something right now. I've been trying to get my husband in church for 18 years. So now he's going with me, but I still want to be in control. I need you today to tell me how to stay in my position and let God do his will. Because doing it my way hasn't been working. And I'm just so grateful of the teachings that I've learned when I was here. Now I love my new church home. I'm a little standoffish, so I don't really deal with a lot of people. But I just really want to learn how to not have everybody in my ear with what they think it should be. When Betty was saying about what do I want to be able to hear God when he speaks to me. To not always want to be doing it my way. So please, First Lady, tell me whatever God be on your heart with this person, just tell me how to stay in my position. So I can get better and my family will get better. Yes.
You want both?
Both for the First Ladies, yes.
I think I'd rather do it one-on-one.
Yes, First Lady, I respect that.
Okay, because that's the moment. I am who I am because I've been connected to her. So let me say that. I was started in ministry. Got it 5 years old probably when I started going the highway before it was on 10th Avenue, and then in the 70s I was there. So a lot of who I am is because she has been a model in my life. You have to get the noise out of your head. And some things that, and I'm gonna leave it from Mother Page to talk to you, but I'm just gonna say that you gotta get the noise out of your head and you choose what conversations you have. People will not give you their advice if you're not seeking it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, when it comes to my marriage, there are just certain conversations I don't have. I don't discuss my husband with just anyone. I'm very careful. Because I've learned how to apply the word to my life, I've done that. And I don't want to make it all churchy, that works. But what I've done, I do marriage maintenance still. If I feel that because sometimes it's me. I heard you say that you want to be in control. You can't. Some things you have to be in control of you, right? And let God do the rest of it. We as women, a lot of us, our nature is to be in control because we're emotional and we want to be able to fix everything and we, it's not going our way. And do you know we're the atmosphere changes in our home?
Amen. Yes, we are.
If you come in chaotic and out of balance, your home is chaotic and out of balance. So stop and control what you can control about you and leave the rest to God. We have a problem when it comes to matters of the heart. We could believe God for everything. Now, y'all, let's touch and agree. We're going to skip and we're going to do this and he's going to open the door. But when it comes to the matter of the heart, like our children, our relationships, the things that we can't control because you cannot control whether he come or go. Your responsibility is to be an example. And when you don't know what to say, don't say anything at all.
So help me, Jesus.
And I have this shirt that says, do it right here, Lord. Because sometimes we're going to feel like we need to say something. You're going to get them right. The best thing you could do, even the best of marriages, hold your peace. Come back at a time that is going to be fruitful. Because we should always be after resolve. We should always be after resolve, not being right. Because sometimes we just want to be right. It's about
doing what's right. So get the noise out of your head, do some meditation, sit down and just ask God to work on you, because I think the church feel like meditation is underrated. Sit down and quiet the noise. Our emotions get so out of control, and we start doing crazy stuff like Elder mentioned because our emotions are on high. Sit down and quiet that down, and God will speak to you. He will speak to you. So get the noise out of your head and shut out the conversations that you don't have to have. Because if you don't, you give people ammunition to shoot you. Don't give people ammunition to shoot you. What's going on with you in your house, you keep it in your house. Amen. And cover your husband in prayer. Amen. So we're going to be praying for you that, you just quiet down the noise and you'll be able to. Amen.
Yes, amen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Can I just share something with the sister and with everybody? Being that now my husband is deceased, but it took years. My husband died at 81. He didn't give his life to Christ until he was 79. We were married for 37 years. So the road, I was walking the road with the Lord, and it bothered me. I went to my pastor at the time in the South, and I said, I have to divorce him. Because I want a man that follow God. And that pastor told me, he said, you can't draw him, but God will. And in God's time, he will draw him. You keep living the life that he sees that big change in you, because you changed too when you became a Christian. And it just stuck with me, and I would just read about it. And one night my husband got in the bed with me, he said, hey babe, you like reading that? I said, what's that? I said, the Bible. He said, yeah, but I mean, you really be into it. I said, yeah, lay down, let me read you some stories. And I started reading. He said, I didn't know that all that, the stories was like, he loved cowboys and Indians and everything else. There were so many things that we may read, Daniel Steele and this and that back in the day. And I was like, if I knew the Bible was like this, I would have been reading these love stories instead of those. So it's just like, I'm not giving you no advice, but I'm telling you because I felt you. And I wanted to let you know as a sister to you, I've been there. And it took years, but in the same token, God did draw him. And the people in the church knew, just like you saying, and I understand you saying, be quiet. But it's something when you have church family, you'll say it to them, And when my husband did get up and go up to give his life to Christ, they was looking at me, they was like, we didn't know whether he was running out the door or falling on the floor. Because you looked at like, Lord! And I was just so happy. But God will do it in his time. And I thank God he did that 2 years before he died. Come on. He had a chance. Some don't have a chance. That's right. And he had a chance. So we all be praying for you, sister. Amen.
That's powerful that
One
they
holding
share.
on to God. Yes, sir.
That's the one thing that we need to do more of, encourage one another and let one another know our stories. We as sisters and as women, we don't always tell our stories. We don't tell. There's so much that a lot of our young people, I like to keep it real. I try to tell them things regarding relationships that I know about. We need to let the young people know about menopause. We need to let them know about getting older. Come on, somebody, y'all getting quiet. We will all get old. Amen. You're not going to pass by menopause. You're not going to pass that. Even if you only have it for 1 year, you're going to have it. I'm telling you now, Jewel. Amen. Don't have emotions getting out of whack. Amen. You ain't seen nothing yet. That has nothing. So let us, as women, let's celebrate this real talk. And we don't together as women, we bring women to have discussed and answered your question. And let us, at this time, give our round of applause to our elder Stephanie Everett, the one who made it for 3 years. Is it the third year? The third year that she has got giving this seminar and this Victorious Women Rock. And I don't know about y'all, but I think we should all feel a little bit more victorious today. Amen. We have victorious women that are standing before. Y'all should feel hope. Y'all should feel powerful. Know that you can do it. Thank you. And this time I'm going to turn it back over into the hands of our elder Everett.
Can we stand and give our panelists great of our moderators, and the young ladies that answered the questions that were in there. This was one of I think one of the best ones that we had. The first two was great, but this was really, really great. Because just to sit down and be empowered by these three great ladies and to hear them talk, it was fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, it's great. Real talk. Each First Lady Odom and Dr. Knight, they have tables. Did you set your tables up? Dr. Knight, she's going to set her table on this side, and First Lady Odom is going to be on that side. If you want your book signed, I guess we'll have First Lady Odom on that side and Dr. Nina on this table. So they'll have